Now that Ikealyou is fighting back here, I would say that it's almost even.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what's coming up here. Both players can play Druid, and they're, we do have one warrior up for Georgec. Choose instead to stick to the Hunter, and now we have Hunter Mirrors. Now, I do know a few players, top-level players, who are actually big fans of this matchup. They think there's a lot of early game nuance to what you do, even especially the player who has the coin. Do you like this matchup at all?
Personally, I don't really like it that much. It's not my favorite matchup because of the way that it quite often one player might have a very good draw and the other one doesn't have that good of a draw, and then it might come down to the draws a little bit too often for my taste. But in this particular instance, both players actually starting with really good hands, curving out well. Georgec with those one drops has the coin for the Houndmaster potentially. Ikealyou also has the bow, which is potentially a huge deal.
And you can just see that there's a lot of choices. Both these players played a little bit quickly before I could even process what was happening. You know, Ikealyou already had the choice between the Kindly Grandmother versus the Huge Toe, choosing instead to play a little bit more power, which ends up playing into the fact his opponent has the Fiery Bats. And that's what George was doing to try to see if he could load up and save the coin. And then if one of these minions survives, say the Huge Toe doesn't hit on those two ones, then he gets the Houndmaster and he can climb ahead.
This is an interesting turn. He could first play the Kindly Grandmother, kind of like try to get the hit on it, or he could try to... Yeah, okay, well, I mean... there's a lot of like those death rattles can be so random, so Ikealyou is going to play it a little bit safer here, it looks like.
Sure.
Because he could have tried to like eliminate both of George's one drops with just a huge death rattle there. Not gonna take the trade. There's no real way for Georgec to punish this face attack. Good call by Ikealyou.
Getting that damage in is often the difference maker on both sides.
Yep.
Because George might be short, a little bit of damage because he has to trade, and then Ikealyou as a result was ahead of damage.
Yeah, in this instance, it was strictly better in my books to play the Kindly Grandmother as the 1/1 with the death rattle, not even try to pop the death rattle because of the Eagle Horn bow that is already there, and the Houndmaster in his hand, which is going to have a guaranteed beast to buff here on turn 4.
Yeah, and that is a great amount of power that's been put in. This is the swing that Georgec is looking for. Plus, he also has High Main next turn, and he already has Call of the Wild. One of the important things of going first over your opponent in this matchup is that you can reach Call of the Wild first, and you do tend to see Call of the Wild battles where one person plays Call of the Wild, the other person answers it, and then it's back and forth.
Yeah, that going for the High Main can also be a huge deal because of the lack of freezing traps. It could be a really big thing there. Also, I wanted to say that Ikealyou a little bit disappointed by that Barnes there, but it is not that unlikely to find a minion without death rattle in these type of decks, even though there are a lot of death rattle minions too, like the High Mains.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking at Ikealyou's list, and almost all of them. He has like Houndmaster and one King Zealot, and then everything else is minions that have pretty big impact. Infest Wolf, Tundra, Rhino, Savannah, High Main.
That's true. That was the worst possible outcome for him.
Yeah.
But he is pushing a lot of damage here regardless. Has a kind of a strong board and also a lot of reach with those direct damage spells.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure for George to stop.
It really is.
Ikealyou is really snowballing on the board here. Ooh, does the Unleash the Hounds change that?
It does. That's an excellent draw because one Hound gets a good trade with that Barnes. He could quick shot the Houndmaster. He could bump the High Main to the Kindly Grandmother, and that would be a full clear with the two remaining Hounds going into the 3-2.
Yeah, full clear is pretty massive. George, I guess he's also wondering what's the value of keeping a cheaper spell versus playing Quick Shot and Kill Command here.
Yep, that's what he's evaluating right now. Like whichever he goes with is going to hit the Houndmaster. He's going to choose to use the Kill Command here because after the Call of the Wild, the card draw from the Quick Shot might be extremely strong.
Yeah, but that's 3 turns from now that he can use that Quick Shot. So I guess it's maybe it just fits better with almost all of his mana plays.
Like, if this is for example a Misha, he might get punished here for using that Kill Command over the Quick Shot.
Yeah.
Because the Quick Shot does not deal with the High Main like the Kill Command would have.
Yeah, it's an extremely good point. And I'm looking also at his deck list. I think it's because perhaps he feels like the quick shot has another chance of getting paired with something else, but he doesn't exactly have like a 5-mana minion, so it's not like quick shot would pair well with.
This is a huge deal here if he doesn't find a nice way to do that. Kind of like an extra 2/2 going to die to the mission now. So
okay, I mean that does get the extra damage in.
I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? He didn't lose any real damage too from the high main, because Call of the Wild will make the power 6 from those two. I guess you do get the 7th damage.
Yeah, if he kept the kill command there, he actually would have been able to like, save the Unleash the Hunts there. So the decision to to use the kill command over the quick shot on the previous turn really did backfire in this particular instance.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to like really look at any kind of positive light, but I think you're just right here, Savitz. It definitely cost George, but will it matter if he's getting the Call of the Wild here and being able to commandingly seize the board? And Ikealyou has just the kill command in hand. If he picks up another kill command, he will win the game if his opponent doesn't trade into his minions.
Yeah, that would do it, and there's some other good draws as well. I do think he is playing, let's see, how many? One Unleash the Hounds in Ikealyou's deck, so if he, after a kill command, maybe got a quick shot into an Unleash, that would do it.
Man, George is really taking his time to think about what ways he can lose. You know, it's how do I lose from this position? He obviously knows about double kill command, but that would require him to double trade or triple trade into the Infested Wolf. That's just way too much damage
That's
loss.
way too much. Like he doesn't have a lethal setup for the next, and Ikealyou does not find the second kill command.
No, that's it. Game is over, and just as fast as the previous two games as well. George C is up